Hey guys, welcome back to Ashley's Homestead Adventures. We're in the kitchen this morning. That's where we're starting off. And we have got some... All of a sudden my dog decided it was thirsty. We have got some chocolate chip loaves in the oven. There's 2 loaves in the oven. And behind me here there's a bunch of dishes, don't mind that. I am making cookies. We do have one batch of chocolate chip cookies already in the fridge, and these are going to be other chip cookies, which I think is going to be butterscotch this time. So I'll flip you around and show you what we got going on. In my bowl, I have already added 113 grams of butter, a half a cup of sugar, a quarter of a cup of brown sugar, about a quarter of a cup of honey. I mixed it, and then I added a half a cup of sourdough discard, which this is my discard jar right here, a teaspoon and about a quarter of honey. So a teaspoon and a quarter teaspoon of, not honey, I'm sorry, vanilla. And I have homemade vanilla here that a beautiful client made for me. And 1 farm fresh egg from my girls. And I have mixed it again. And now I am going to add the salt and the baking soda, which is a half of a teaspoon each. Then we'll add 2 cups of flours, and we'll add our chips of choice. One of the things that I love about this recipe is that you don't have to be like exact on your amounts. Just got cookie stuff on that wall over there. Okay, still a little bit sticky. Add a little bit more flour. And I just need it to be not sticky, basically. I need it to be ballable. I need to be able to turn this into balls. Our bread is ready to come out of the oven. Still too sticky. The stickier they are, the more moist they're going to be. So it's kind of like a catch-22 of, do you want them to be easier to work with, or do you want them to be moister and more doughy once you bake them? And I find that these are a lot like old-fashioned cake cookies, or what nowadays they're calling crumble cookies. They're very dense and fluffy at the same time. It's a lot like biting into a cross in between a cookie and a cake, or a cross in between like a cookie and a cupcake. So I find that they do feel a little dry at times, and it's a big cookie, so I would prefer to have a cookie that's got a little bit moisture texture and a little bit maybe doughy on the inside, to where by the time you're done eating the cookie, you don't have that thought in your mind of, oh, well, that was dry. Because these are 3 to 3.5 ounce cookies. These are big cookies. Okay, we're gonna put these in the fridge for 2 hours before we bake them. Now it's time for me to clean up my mess a little bit here. Instances this morning where I came in my kitchen and I had loaded my dishwasher last night after dinner and had put the soap in it and had started it, so I thought, and so I was thinking I was going to come in and unload the dishwasher and reload it and start off with a clean kitchen this morning, and I forgot to press play last night on the dishwasher. So the soap was there, everything was there, except I hadn't pushed play. So it put me behind on dishes right off the bat this morning, but that's okay. When you're like we are and you're cooking in your kitchen or baking in your kitchen 3, 4, 5 times a day, you know, or 3, 4, 5 recipes a day, it's just kind of one of those things where we pretty much constantly just have dishes all the time. And a lot of the baking is big bowls and things like that. And it doesn't bother me enough to want to hand wash dishes. I know that there's people out there that love to hand wash dishes. They find it therapeutic, and I am so glad that you do. I find cleaning stalls therapeutic. I hate washing dishes, so I will wait for the dishwasher. I am lazy when it comes to dishes, I'll fully admit it. We are going to come out here and see what we can get done out here, what my shoulder will allow. And I have a question for you guys. I have been struggling a little bit to make content because a lot of days I'm not really doing farmy stuff per se. Mr. Wonderful is doing a lot of the chores for me. I am still making meals and things like that, but it's not farmy stuff. So I didn't know if maybe you guys were interested in coming along with me while I'm meal prepping. I don't know if any of you have noticed in the last year, but I've been on a little bit of a health journey, and so I do a lot of meal prepping. If you're interested in seeing that, then if you don't mind, just put it in the comments and I would be happy to show you guys that stuff. But at the same time, it's not farmy stuff, and I don't want to lose you guys because I'm not doing farmy stuff. I'd rather just wait until I am doing farmy stuff and video for you. So if you could answer that question for me, I would greatly appreciate it. And let's go see what we can do on the farm. I am going to get the horses out and we are going to get some stalls cleaned. I don't know, I'm not going to do the chicken chores just yet because I'm hoping that my shoulder will hold up enough that I can butcher some chickens today. was a big old cattle truck that just went by, huh? My neighbor just brought a whole trailer load of cattle, which I always enjoy because I love to watch his cows. He had a lot of black baldies this year, which was really fun to watch the little black baldy calves play. He's got a really cool Hereford bull, quite a few black cows, so he's been dropping a lot of black baldies, which I enjoy watching. Now we're gonna take this hay out here and disperse it, and this is just basically for the horses to have something to snack on because there's not much grass out in the field. They already had breakfast and they will be fed dinner. So this is just something for them to kind of snack on if they so choose to. Maggie's enjoying a good roll. Okay, now we're gonna move on to stalls and see if we can't get these things completely cleaned. I have been kind of picking away at them. The last couple days my shoulders felt good enough that I was able to get the bulk of what I was behind on done. So Gracie's stall is still pretty bad, and I haven't gotten to it in a couple of days. So we're gonna start with that one and then it'll just get easier from there, and hopefully I can get them all clean today and get completely caught up. I like to clean my stalls every day, at least once a day. Sometimes I'm even cleaning them twice a day. But here lately I have had to do a lot of involuntary rest, which sometimes we have to do. So let's see what we can get done today, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, I can move on to getting some of those chickens butchered so that I can get the beautiful hens that I'm keeping moved and integrated into the colorful egg layer flock and get them out pasture grazing sooner rather than later. Ceases to amaze me, the things that I find in this barn. I've cleaned this stall, I don't know, 1,000 times. And now, just for whatever reason, a fishing bobber has surfaced. I have no idea where it came from. There was a whole bunch of fishing gear in this area. If you go back and watch the videos when we first bought this place, this whole barn was just pile after pile after pile of stuff. All kinds of stuff. Just generations of crap that people had piled in here because they weren't using this as a barn. So yeah, that's so funny. It's a perfectly good little fishing bobber too. Maybe I'll use it this next summer. tell this is where Gracie slept last night. There's a nice flat spot right there. I do like that she is still laying down. It's one of the things about old horses that you kind of watch for, is if they're not laying down because they don't think they can get up anymore. That's kind of one of your signs that you're getting close to needing to let them go. And Miss Grace still enjoys to sleep at night, and she also enjoys a midday nap. Sometimes it's mid-morning, sometimes it's midday out in the pasture. That all is very variable upon the other horses. She doesn't put herself in any submissive position, so if they're all feeling quite rowdy, then she won't nap out in pasture. She'll nap standing up, but she won't lay down to nap. She'll wait until she comes in, but if you come in here at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, it's pretty common to see her curled up in a ball, sleeping. And it's one of the many joys of owning horses, is seeing a great big majestic animal like Gracie laying down, sleeping peacefully. All these stalls are pretty wet because we've had a lot of precipitation and the roof has holes in it. It is one of the things on our list, but admittedly not high on the list. We'll replace it as we can. The front part is new roofing, and so that's where we put the hay up front. One of the things that I need to do today is I just need to push the manure pile up with the tractor. I've gotten I've piled up my manure out as far as I want to with the wheelbarrow, and it's too wet to turn compost piles, and I actually just did that a week or 2 ago. So we're just gonna push up the manure pile. There, that is so much better. I have more room now, and it's far more tidy. ceases to amaze me what a pig this horse is. Reminds me, I gotta do waters. I usually do them while I'm cleaning stalls. Got a little distracted today. Alright, you're after water, right? Let's get that done. I am going to go get the bedding because we're out of the bedding that we usually get from the sawmill. So luckily I got some bedding yesterday from Tractor Supply. So I'm gonna go get the bedding for the stalls that I'm gonna put bedding in. And then I'm also going to check minerals and refill minerals here in the barn for the horses. And then it's D-Day for the chickens. Missed that. Whew. That would have been a blooper and a half. Minerals. Maggie knocked hers over, and I just use zip ties to tie them onto the panels. And we are, oops, hold on. Gotta pay attention here. We feed a mineral salt called Tribute, and that is, it's got trace minerals and salt in it for the horses. It's specifically designed for equines. And then we feed kelp and also just plain white salt that we buy it at the feed store. It's actually gray. It's not white because it's not bleached, it's not iodized, it's just plain Jane salt. I mean, I get it for like $6 for like a 50-pound bag. And we try to keep it free choice. So that's what these mineral feeders are, and that's what I was just refilling, was the Tribute mineral, and then the kelp, and then just plain old salt. right, you guys, I'm gonna jump into getting some chickens butchered, and Mr. Wonderful has decided to help me, so I'm gonna go ahead and let go of you guys here. I hope that you had a wonderful day. Thanks for coming along with me on some of mine. Yours truly.